everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast Summer House Martha's Vineyard edition. We are at season 2, episode 7. And I don't know why this show is on pause, to be honest.
Me, Alicia,
That's
I
good.
said the same thing. I was at the very end, I was like, Bravo hates these people.
Bravo is a bunch of white people because we keep pausing the really good shows.
I also was like, man, this has to be really good because last season, Luxe on the Bluffs was the finale. So
yeah, there's more.
And I'm going to be honest, I snuck a peek at what the descriptions are because I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Spoil it. What are the descriptions?
Next episode, like we saw, like there's the girls are gossiping. Amir apparently is really hungover from this party, which I have to assume that Natalie's just going to be absolutely upset with him for.
She's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. And then I forget what the finale says, but it's just like drama, obviously. And then the reunion, it's like lots of people have to answer for things.
I'm so happy there's a reunion. If nothing else, just to be like, this was your behavior on TV, talk about it. Like, yeah. I want you to realize what you've
There's
done.
way more to answer for this season than last season. Yeah. And I just want to thank every single Bravo fan who tweeted about it, got the word out, that said that we need a reunion because without the work of every one of you, we never would have had that. Agreed. And we weren't watching at the time, so we couldn't participate. But had we been watching, we would have been participating.
We would have wanted a reunion. Yeah, this was amazing. And that's why now I'm going to fight to get this show off pause.
I mean, I'm ready.
This was amazing. So, before we get into the episode, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. This is our only podcast. Thank God. We used to have
Thanks
a ton.
Thanks for joining us.
But check us out. Who knows? We could have more podcasts in the future, so you never know. Also, we have an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Patreon. All links are in our bios or our description, so go check that out. And also, please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It helps the podcast. Thank you so much. Okay. Should we get into the episode? I want to dive in. This was so good.
I'm ready. I am buckled up. Boop.
Boop. So.
I couldn't make a.
The boop is crazy. So. Previously on Summer House Martha's Vineyard, Preston threw a cocktail party. Simon is in town and him and Bria might be fighting, but Bria does not want to talk about it with anyone, including us, the camera.
Yeah, give me more on that.
Mariah is back, and though she's good with Bria, she is not good with Amir. Summer is struggling with family issues, like her Nana having surgery and looking for her dad. And she's also been arguing with everyone in the house and getting really mad easily because she hasn't really opened up about her issues. She has to like us after the fact, but not like in the house. And currently she is mad at Noelle, Bria, and Shanice for having fun and being a clique.
I mean, that's true, but it's like, oh my God. Like, can you imagine explaining this episode to like somebody who's never watched this show? Or like Bravo in general?
Yeah, so there was this girl, Noelle, and she was in a wig, and everyone was cracking up. So then this other girl threatened to fight her. So
just lost it on her.
Yeah, it was crazy. She hated that wig, you know? So, okay, so we have no theme song this episode. Something to note. Because we open right on up at 2:13 a.m. Summer is telling Noelle she's done and she can't be Noelle's anchor anymore. And Noelle's like, are you mad because I'm making other friends?
Yeah, like, what is going on here? Noelle is so intuitive, and I appreciate that for being like, there is a lot going on here I need to ask. It's not just what you're putting down.
I don't know if I would be this intuitive, to be honest.
Not at 2 a.m. drunk. No, I would not. I would think about these things like tomorrow. I probably wanted to ask about them, but
yeah, I'd be like, go be mad then, and just leave at 2 a.m. Go be mad.
I'm gonna go put the wig. I would try so hard to get this girl to bed, and so I could go put that wig back on and giggle and go have
fun. Because Shanice and Bria are still kind of having fun because they are face down, ass up on the ground, listening.
I was screaming.
To this conversation.
This situation reminded me of being in college when you're like, it is just so chaotic. I don't want to be a part of the fighting, but I want to listen to it all, but I'm still hammered. So like, we got to be able to run back into the room in case something's happening, but we cannot miss a beat.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So Noelle asks how Summer is, and Summer says she's good. Noelle doesn't believe her. So Summer says she has a problem with Bria making her feel like she's crazy multiple times. And Noelle's kind of like, I know that's not the fucking reason, but okay, we're supposed to be friends. Like, don't forget that. So now it's over an hour later at 3:57 a.m. Summer is packing her clothes. She's sobbing to Jordan and Jasmine. Jasmine, I can't imagine Jasmine's happy to be up this late. She's pregnant.
I also can't imagine like how much had to keep spiraling for Summer to like now be packing a bag with Jordan and Jasmine.
Yeah. So Jordan tells her like, hey, why don't we shake it off for a second? You know, go to bed, relive this in the morning. And Summer kind of stares at her weird and is like, sorry, I got distracted by your wig. It's gorgeous. Because Jordan's wearing a wig because she has alopecia.
Noelle and they had that party like that tonight.
Where,
so she had that like really short wig on and it's just different. But this is exactly what being drunk is like. You just 1 minute are so upset about something and like can completely be blindsided into like having fun.
Yeah.
Which is why you just got to get Summer to bed.
Just go to sleep. So finally everyone goes to bed. It's now day 10 of 15 at 6:25 a.m. Backyard's a mess from Freak Nick. But Nick is up wide awake early because he's going to his race. So
when he said this, I was like, what the fuck did I miss? Because you're acting like we all know what's going on. Okay, I will give this episode a little bit of grief because I constantly felt like I was the idiot. And then they would like eventually show us flashbacks. Yeah. But somebody would say something and I'd be like, what is going on here?
No, agreed. The editing is
atrocious.
Low tier this season. Yeah. So Nick heard arguing last night. He has no idea what's about. He's like probably fighting over me because I look so hot at Freak Nick.
I laughed so hard. I was like, Nick.
Love Nick. I
started clapping with my laughing too, and then he started clapping, and I was like, yep, that's my guy.
Funny. So, he is running his first race on the Vineyard today. It's a 5K. Nick loves running, which is where we differ. He tells us that less than 3% of the population have run a marathon, which I am in the 97%.
No. We have run a marathon through one of our listeners' ears.
I don't even count that for me. I don't want to claim that I've run a marathon at all.
I am claiming that I've been on the journey of a marathon, though.
We'll split the difference. Meredith's run a marathon. I haven't.
So I'm going to take claim on that. That's the only way my voice will be getting across the finish line of that.
Yeah, I'll never run a marathon. No. Nick's run 10. He's been to he's run in New York, Chicago, Boston, London, Berlin, Tokyo. Sounds like a lot of work. You could just be vacationing, but
that's really cool because those are the major ones that he has hit all the majors. If I was a runner and did one, you could probably convince me to do 10 at that rate.
Yeah, I think once you finish one, it's like addictive and you want to keep running. That's why I'll never finish one. I don't want to run.
I tried to do a half marathon, fucked up my knee, had knee surgery, so we
are marathon?
Not doing that path.
That's a lot. That's like 13 miles.
No, I didn't run it. Oh. I was training for it and fucked up my knee.
How far did you get?
What do you mean, how far did I get?
Like what was your max mileage that you've done?
I was up to like 7-8 miles.
Ooh.
And once you get to like between 5 to 7, you don't notice them. For a marathon, yeah, but like getting up to 13 is not really that hard. It just starts to all fall away.
My God, to be clear, the most I've run straight is probably half a mile.
That's okay. It takes time to build it up. It takes a lot of training.
I hate running.
You got to do like a full training regimen.
Ugh, terrible. I just did sports, whatever that was. Whatever. So Nick also has his friends coming. He has Tasia coming. It's Luxe on the Bluffs. So he has a lot on his to-do list today. So on his way to the race, he's texting the group like, hey, can we have a house meeting later? Because he's got a lot of stuff to go over.
Which this is Luxe on the Bluffs. I was like, this is the big end of... I thought, before I looked up my spoilers at the end of this episode, I thought the next 3 episodes were going to be about this night / kind of this weekend. So I was like, this is the big finale. Of course we need to have a house meeting.
Either way, we're having people over. We should probably clean up. We should probably have a house meeting. We should just I think that's a good way to just get together and be like, this is what the plan is.
And the house is destroyed too from the night before. We got to clean this shit up.
Yeah. So Amir, back at the house, asks Natalie if she had fun. And Natalie says it was fun, but it was too crazy and not her vibe. Not that the girls aren't her vibe, but their behavior, not her vibe.
Girly, let's just be honest.
This girl hates Shanice. Shanice haunts her nightmares.
That party wasn't your vibe. This weekend isn't your vibe. This show isn't your vibe. Those girls aren't your vibe. And that is okay.
But just shut up about it.
But, like, it's you pretending like you're going to be a part of stuff and then not showing up. That's, like, that's where the weirdness is.
You're just a big hater. Like,
yeah, just say it's not for you and, like, don't participate.
Also, you don't need to comment, in my opinion, like, oh, the behavior is not my vibe. Just be like, it was fun, it was crazy, it's not really my thing, but, like, rock out, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest of the house is waking up. Summer says last night was crazy, and she just exploded. Life is really forcing her to deal with her issues, and she's running away from it. She regrets fighting with the people she cares about, and she wants to be able to share her feelings and talk to people and be open. So we're going to work on that.
It's a long path is all I got to say. So I am Summer. Summer was me. I can see all the problems, and I can see exactly what she was going to do next.
Meredith is getting so good, though. At her.
Listen, therapy, it works if you really dedicate your life to it. You got to make a lot of choices that aren't as fun as getting fucked up and constantly yelling at people.
Love. Okay, so cut to the kitchen. Amir doesn't like ranch. And I said, you know what? Fucking same. Ranch is gross.
I am not a ranch connoisseur like a lot of people are either.
I hate ranch. I won't eat it on anything.
It's fine. I'll eat it with like celery, carrots. It's fine as a dip, but I don't want it on my pizza. I don't want it on my wings. I don't want it anywhere near anything except for a salad and some vegetables.
Know this. I won't eat ranch on anything. Get it away from me. It's disgusting.
Is it the texture, the taste? What is it for you?
It's the taste. Because unlike Amir, because Amir doesn't like anything that's white and creamy, I like mayo.
Love me some mayo.
love an aioli sauce.
Yum.
Yeah, I could sit around an aioli or a mayo constantly. You give me ranch, I'm fighting someone.
There's a million things I'd rather have than ranch, but I would be fine with ranch and some veggies.
No. What's your salad dressing then?
I prefer like an Italian or something like a little zest.
Like a balsamic.
Or like there's like that what's it called? There's like a green like one that's a little
like
it's kind of like pesto. Yes, love that. I'm up for like anything, honestly. It just has to fit the vibe of the salad.
I won't put ranch anywhere near my salad.
That's the thing. There's more tasty salad dressings than ranch out there.
Ranch sucks. Okay. Cut back to Nick's race. Nick's number that he gets on his shirt is number 1.
I was shocked they had him like literally the footage of him taking off, and nobody was blurred out there.
No, and also can we talk about the cameraman that had to run with Nick?
Alicia.
I would quit.
When I first saw that, I was like, I bet you there's only one clip of him running because they ran with him for a minute and then they turned back and went to the end.
Yep, I would quit. Yeah, terrible. I'm not running with Nick.
No, there's no way they ran with him the whole time. We had one clip of him
actually
running during the race.
The shakiness of like trying to follow. It was hilarious. That was a good try though. Good try. Okay, back at the house, Noelle and Alex are having breakfast. Noelle tells Alex that there was an exchange last night that started out innocent, but then got a little spicy. And Noelle just doesn't understand what happened. And Alex says he doesn't believe that acting drunk is an excuse to act out. And then Preston shows up and he says people need to learn how much they can handle because this is a constant excuse. And then we cut to Summer, who's leaning over the staircase listening. And I went,
oh my God.
Yeah, but they would say it to her face.
They would, but it's so funny when drama goes down in a house full of people where majority of the people are asleep or like did not get themselves involved, so they're just laying in their bed listening to it.
Yeah.
And it's like what really went down and like trying to talk about it while not having the person in front of you because you just want to tell like your version of the story for a minute and not have to like deal with it. Awkward.
Yeah, Summer just listens though. She doesn't get involved. And then
I thought she was gonna blow up there for a minute.
Same. And then Bria separately is telling Natalie what happened in Natalie and Amir's room. And she says that Summer was trying to fight her. And Natalie probably hates that behavior too. So then,
we'll get to Natalie because she's a problem.
Cut back to Nick's race. He finished the race 5th place.
What'd you think about that finishing place before you heard anything about the number?
I was like, shit, this dude's kind of fast. He also...
really? Because he was like obsessed with running, has ran so many marathons, and it's only a 5K. I was like, man, I really expected you to finish top 3.
That's what, 3 miles?
It's 3.1, I think.
Divided by 3.1? He ran a 6-minute and 22-second mile.
Okay, that's fast.
Yeah,
I don't know. In my head, I was like, he's winning that thing.
He finished in less than 20 minutes. That was
it was like
crazy
19
to
something.
Me. My God, I'm not even done with my episode of SpongeBob, and you're.
You know what?
Finished?
I am still in my Olympics mode when we're recording this.
So
that I'm like, it's gold or nothing.
Yeah, yeah, bitch. You either run in 4 minutes, mile every 4 minutes.
Like I don't care.
God.
What is happening, first, second, or third, or like you're going home with nothing.
I literally wrote 20 minutes is my 1 mile pace.
That is so funny.
It would have taken me an hour to do a 5K.
I was so disappointed in him.
Okay, I was fucking impressed. Man's running less than a 6:30 mile.
No, now that you say that, I am impressed. I just am like,
there's some
top
fast
3 or
people
nothing.
on the Vineyard. Yeah, fine. Sure,
first place or go home.
Oh my God. Okay, Meredith, we'll sign you up for the next 5K.
No, not me. I will happily watch every time from my couch. But first place for you or nothing.
So then Nick shares that he lost a fraternity brother recently. And I believe he said his brother's number was number 5.
5, yeah.
So he is excited to be finishing 5th. He feels like this is a connection to his frat brother.
That was so very sweet. Beautiful. It was like he basically like ran the race with me.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's nice. What made me feel bad about being like 5th, first place or nothing.
Meredith's like this fucking loser didn't get a medal.
And then I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I'm so happy.
Also, do you know how many people run this shit? 5 out of like 300? Probably less than that, but like
it looked smaller than that. That's why crazy. The starting line, I was like, "Come on, Nick, you can crush all these."
You're
people.
Crazy. You're crazy. I'm impressed. So back at the house, Summer comes downstairs from overhearing on the staircase. Oh my God. She says, "Good morning" to everyone. Everyone gets a little awkward because they're like, "Fuck, how much did she hear?" But Alex is like, "Hey, I need everyone to start cleaning. Do you think we could have some people go outside?" Everyone's basically like, no, we're not going to do that.
I was shook. I was like, oh,
listen,
these people would not fly in the OG summer house or the winter house. Like,
no,
that is just not the behavior that we've ever seen.
To be clear, I don't want to clean either. No. But if we're having people over,
yes,
I'll step up. And if
this
you
isn't just a Tuesday
morning. If you ask me, yeah, okay, I can't turn it down.
No, because we are all in this house together. I'm not going to let all the crap from last night's party sit there and I'm going to go lay in bed.
Yeah. So it's 11:25 a.m. Summer asks Noelle to talk in the sunroom. Basically, Noelle says she feels really hurt because it feels like Summer does like her, but also doesn't like her.
Which, like, Noelle, that was a really strong opening.
Yeah, Noelle handles herself really well.
I'm so impressed by Noelle.
Noelle's amazing. So Summer says she was just angry with Bria, and Noelle was on the receiving end of her anger. It wasn't about Noelle. Summer says when she's angry, she sees red and she gets more angry than she would like to admit, which I was like, girl, why didn't you apologize?
I was waiting for an I'm sorry.
Yeah, right? I thought I was going crazy.
I thought she wasn't gonna apologize. I was sitting there like, oh, this is
same.
not good.
So Noelle asks if Summer remembers pushing her. And I was like, yeah, bitch.
Which I kind of already forgot that she pushed her too.
Same, but then they showed the clip and I was like, ooh.
Yeah. And if Noelle says like she got pushed, I believe Noelle immediately. But I was like, damn, I don't remember that. But then they showed us and I was like, oh yeah, I was kind of out of the frame.
It wasn't the best. Okay, so then Summer says she does not remember. It's not an excuse, but Noelle was on the receiving end of her anger to someone else.
And still, I'm like, can we get an I'm sorry?
Literally, I'm like, shut the fuck up with your excuses. I'm about to fight. But then Summer apologizes. Noelle then says the anger felt deeper than just being mad at Bria.
Mm-hmm.
And Summer says with alcohol, and that's she with the alcohol and like the state she was in, it was just kind of crazy. And Noelle says Summer comes across as a spicy, mean drunk, and that concerns her because Noelle was really hurt last night.
Which, when I say I'm like Summer, I don't mean this entire like vacation, because Summer has blown up almost every single night. That is not me. I'm like once in a 3-month period type of person where you're like, it just all boils over. And it does, like, I can understand how it came out at Noelle because Noelle's the one who was with her most of the time last night. But every other night, it has also gone after Noelle because Noelle, again, is with her most of the time, which is not Noelle's fault. Like, she's being a really good friend. It's just really hard when this is a consistent behavior from Summer. And now is the time that she's like finally embarrassed by it.
Yeah, it's not great.
I wake up immediately after one of these nights and I am immediately apologetic, saying I'm so sorry because like that's not what I want. But I can't understand how emotions plus like a really drunk night gets turned sideways. Like that happens to people. But it's more than that for Summer at this point.
Which is what Noelle is getting at. But also, like, it took Summer a while to apologize, and Noelle's hurt. And, like, she's just waiting for it. So we cut to outside really quick, and Jordan, Donald, and Natalie are cleaning up. These three show. Can I just say, Donald and Natalie, they show up and clean the house.
Well, as a guest, you also have to.
Yeah, but for 2 guests, they're doing more than the actual people who live here.
I bet other people are cleaning up inside. There's no way people are.
I think they are, like, similar to Jordan, but we keep getting Donald and Natalie, and I'm kind of impressed because if I was a guest, I'd try and be like, oh, I actually have to, like...
I would sleep in.
Yeah, I would try and get out of it. But they're the first ones to be like, oh, yeah, I'm here. So just impressed.
No, this conversation is just important. That's why it's being cut in.
Yes, but still Donald said, and I believe Natalie, were both like, we'll help with whatever you need. Like, they just seem more open to it than the house. Yeah. Just give them their props, Meredith.
Well, I'm saying, like, other people are willing to clean. There are a lot of people in the house who are unwilling to clean, though. I feel like there's Natalie and Donald are in the group of majority of the house who's like, yeah, no worries. And then later we'll find out there are some people.
As guests, it's impressive because if I'm a guest, I want to do the least amount of work.
I agree, but if you're a guest on camera, you're also going to probably show up even more.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. If the whole house is complaining, I'll also complain. You know, I'll jump in. But, so they're helping out outside. Natalie is basically like, hey, I got the tea, and says that Bria, Shanice, and Noelle were sitting in Shanice's room, and Summer came in and basically was telling all of them off about how they're a clique, and it's not what they think being friends with Preston and Jordan.
How did you feel about this? Yeah, but Nicole, or sorry, not Nicole. That is not her name. Natalie is like, sharing this when she knows she wasn't there, and I wish she would have started with the disclaimer of like, this is what I heard from this person, because this is what happened, but it also is not what happened.
I'm not mad at Natalie because I think it is what happened.
I think there's different contexts coming across, though. Like, if she was just gossiping with two people, this wouldn't be as bad to me. But the fact that it is Jordan and Donald, so Preston's significant other, and those are the people that are involved in this telephone game, is why I wish she would have given more of a disclaimer.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was that bad because from Bria's point of view, this is exactly what happened.
I know, it's just the Jordan and Preston part.
I'm not mad about that. I mean, I don't love how she said, like, I have tea. I think she should have been like, hey, you guys, like, this is what I heard, just so you know. I'm not mad that she said something. I think that's fine.
I don't think it's weird that she said something. I just think it's like should have been massaged a little bit differently.
I think you just fucking hate Natalie. You won't give her props for cleaning. You won't give her props for this. It was fine.
Yeah, I think that to me it comes off that like she's trying to tell the story from first person perspective, and it's not.
No, I think it's fine. It also might have gotten cut out. She might have said like, Bria told me that. Or after they could have said, how do you know? And she could have said, Bria told me.
True.
Right? We don't know. But I think this was fine. I think it was tea. This is exactly how it came across from Bria's point of view. Mm-hmm. Natalie didn't, I think, add or subtract anything. I think this is exactly what Bria would tell her.
Yeah.
So I'm good with it. But then we cut back to Summer and Noelle. And Noelle says, it's okay to not have everything together. It's okay to say you're like going through something. And so Summer starts crying and Noelle starts crying. And Noelle says she's crying because she hurts for Summer, but she also has feelings about this whole situation and she needs space to feel things out.
That
was amazing.
How does she say all the right things? Her saying it's okay to not have everything put together. Like that's what friends want to be there for those moments. Like I don't want to hear as a friend that you're going through something, but if you are, I want you to tell me.
Yeah.
And like way to stand up for yourself and your friend.
Yeah, it was very nice that she was being there for Summer, but also saying like, I'm like here for you, but you need to find someone else to like push this all on right now because I am
here for you, but you can't treat me like a punching bag.
Yeah, because like now Noelle's taking a step back.
Mm-hmm.
So Summer says when she's hurting, she hurts people and she's trying to do better. She has more work to do on that. And Noelle tells us in an interview that when she met Summer, they hit it off like immediately. And now Noelle feels like she's seen Summer's true colors. And she can forgive, but it will never be the same, which I live by: forgive, but never forget.
That's the thing. It like, and not just being honest, because like it isn't the same. You will always think about how so-and-so treated you. And maybe it can like slowly come back to what it like a similar place of how it was in the past. If you have, but it takes a long time to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially like when you put hands on someone.
Yeah.
So, they hug though. And I think Noelle wants to, like she said, forgive her, but she just needs space right now. So then Nick comes back from his race with flowers.
Lots of them. I was
he
like,
walks
damn, really
in,
one-upping Amir.
And no one says, like, how was your race? They all said, did you rob a flower shop? And I picked up on it. I literally was like, how come no one has asked him about his fucking race?
I know. At first, literally, I was so shocked because I was waiting for somebody to be like, look at your medal. Because I also thought the medal was kind of weird. But I don't know what
came in fifth?
No. Because it was like a tree stump. Like it was just a unique, different thing. Not saying it was like weird in a bad way, but that was like eye-catching to me when he got the medal. And we obviously saw that. But yeah, nobody says anything, which I thought was so odd.
I thought that was weird, right? And Nick has to be the one that's like, so I came in fifth at my race. And
then they're like, oh, congrats.
Yeah.
And that's it still.
Yeah, even though he even sent in the text that he sent to the house about the house meeting, he's like, after I'm done with my race.
Yes. And like, listen, I don't think anybody needs to be up at 8 a.m. and like text him before his race. But like when you see that and you wake up, like, good luck, hope it went well, like something.
Yeah. Let us like, can't wait to see the medal, like literally anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's now 1:16 p.m. Jasmine lit a candle right under Noelle's flowers, gonna set the house on fire.
Because I saw that candle for like, and then they put the arrow to it. So I was like, I need to pay attention to this because this obviously is going to mean something. I thought the whole thing was going to go up in flames.
I thought the house was on fire.
Why would she put that there?
Well, also, why would they show this if the house isn't on fire?
Well, it could have, like, something could have caught on fire, and then obviously, thank God, you know, this didn't happen, but like, production steps in.
But there was no follow-up. I was like, where's the fire? Where?
There was a clip later when Noelle finds the candle and she goes, why would Jasmine put this here? And I was like, yeah, no, that's the exact same
thought but there was nothing else that happened.
No, I agree. We're clearly just itching for some
That doesn't need to be a fucking filler.
Well, because they're putting in the second filler clip, they have to put in the other filler clip. So I understand why
both of them were crazy to me.
Correct. But
and like Amir spilling ice all over the kitchen. I was like, what's happening, you guys?
Alicia, I was like, why does this matter? And then he was like, the ground's going to be all wet. I was like, get a fucking rag.
Well, then I was like, someone's going to fall. No one fell. Give me drama or give me nothing. Okay, so Nick, it's time for the house meeting. So Nick, or no, not the house meeting yet. Sorry, Nick's just in the kitchen.
Well, Nick's trying to gather the house meeting.
He's like, in general, he's like, hey, can everyone help out for Luxe on the Bluff? And Bria's goat, oh God, she drives me fucking nuts.
I agree.
Bria says she's not trying to be rude, but she has things to do today. And when she had her event, no one helped. And then like, Bravo literally.
Hold on. First up, I was like, your event versus Luxe on the Bluff, very different events.
Very different.
Just the house was at your event, and it was like an outdoor thing.
And also, I don't think the outdoors was trashed when your event.
No, it was like a weekday lunch.
And literally, it seemed like the dumbest lunch in the world. I would have been pissed I had to go to that.
And like vendors were hired. Like, this is not the same thing.
I thought she hired help. Because the vendors set everything up. But actually, Bravo producers give us clips from 4 days ago at Bria's event, and we had Alex helping, Nick helping, Shanice helping. Yep. So
what do you mean no one helped?
So yeah. Then Bria's mad that there's going to be a meeting. She tells Nick, she's like, I don't know when there needs to be a meeting.
I kind of understand it. So I understand when she's like, give me my task. I'm just going to go do it. I don't want to sit here.
Just tell me what to do. But it was really like mean towards Nick. Like Nick was just
agree. Like the attitude isn't needed. I understand if you don't want to sit at this meeting, appreciate you just trying to get an assignment and get out of there. Fine.
But you don't have to cop the tune with me. Rude. And so she's like, just tell me what to do. And Nick's like, listen, if you don't want to help, you literally don't have to help.
Nope.
And she's like, no, I'm asking for an assignment. Just give it to me. And so Nick's like, how about you do the bathrooms downstairs? She's like, Windex it, make sure there's toilet paper.
A towel. Like,
and
just,
then Shanice is like, I'm going to go help her. And Nick was like, okay, thanks for your help. Good. So now Nick has to thank them because God forbid they offer to help for a second.
Well, and what's annoying is they did and eventually offer, even though they didn't want to.
But did they do it? All they did was bitch about it.
I don't think they actually end up doing it. But my biggest thing is like, you're offering so you don't look like a bitch. If you really don't want to do it, take the bitch moment.
Yeah,
and just
but also
say you're not helping.
Well, the way you're offering is also kind of a bitch moment. So like, you could have just gotten out of it.
Don't like save face by offering to help and then not doing it, because that's like
and like
way
bitching
worse.
About it. All you had to do was clean the toilets. That's pretty simple.
He didn't even say clean the toilets. He said Windex, towel, toilet paper.
Yeah, it was pretty simple stuff. But then this is when cute little Donald looks at Nick and he's like, hey, Nick, if you need help with anything, I'm happy to help. Just let me know. I was like, oh, I love.
That's true.
Like,
I can't imagine the dynamics of this house.
Like,
yeah.
The people in this house are even like, I'm busy today. And this dude Donald, who doesn't even live here, is like,
here's the moment. The juxtaposition of Natalie and
Donald versus
Donald helping. Yes. But I don't like put them on a pedestal next to the rest of the like normal people in the house.
No, but I think they have less of an obligation to help. And they're not only not copying an attitude, they're like, yeah, put us to work. We're here. Yeah. We're here to help.
I can't imagine watching that scene go down.
I hope Bria has to fucking answer for that scene. I was pissed.
I was too.
Her whole attitude this season is fucking ridiculous.
She just thinks she's holier than thou.
Yeah, she's terrible. So Shanice and Bria go upstairs to Bria's room, and they're so mad they have to clean the bathroom. They're like, fuck him. Who does he think he is? Bria's like, I have shit I have to deal with.
And they're like, I'm not doing that. Then why did you say you would do it?
Yeah, also, the shit she has to deal with is just her boyfriend's being a dick. I was like, have him clean the bathrooms then. And this is the other thing. There's a whole ass guest in this house that's not helping with shit.
That's true.
But Donald and Natalie.
But here's the thing. I'm not saying like Simon's doing it right, but that's the strategy. Just lay in bed and do not be seen. Don't show presence at all.
Donald, I obviously love because he's done nothing but be sweet and kind. But Natalie, who literally sucks, who you'd think wouldn't want to help out, is still down there blowing up balloons and shit. That's true.
Natalie, I would assume Natalie and Simon would be opposite because like Simon's been here before and is like friendly with everyone and like loves a good party.
Natalie hates Jordan and she's out there with her trying to figure out these floaties and clean up.
That did shock me.
That I gotta give her a little props. Like, show up, bitch, you know?
Okay.
I think Natalie maybe just wanted to spill the tea to Jordan and be like, your friend hates you. And you know what? Spill the tea.
I understand that. When Bria and Shanice were like, I hire people to do that. Bitch, just put a fucking towel in the bathroom. Also, you don't need to hire somebody for that. It gave me Craig from Winter House moments where he's like, why don't we just hire people to clean this house? You're telling me you can't wipe up down a countertop when you first wake up in the morning? If we all do this together, it'll take like 30 minutes and we can all be done.
Also, Shanice, no, you don't. You don't have a job.
You have no money.
You're not hiring people. Bria, sure. But still not enough where the house had to help. So
this is stupid.
I'm about to fight. Okay, anyway. So Nick holds his meeting. He starts off by sharing that he was very hurt because he went to the race by himself, and that's fine. But then there was no support. Like, no one said good luck or asked how it was or sent him a text, and that's where I felt bad. Like, I'm probably not going to wake up after Freak Nick.
Not one single person.
I'm probably not going to wake up after Freak Nick. Maybe if I was Alex and I was asleep and sober, I would have been like, do you need me to come? But, like, fine. No one's going to wake up at 6:30 and go with
I'm going to be honest. Nobody needs to go to that event. You chose to run a race early in the morning after a party.
That's on you.
The bar isn't that high for me.
The night before, maybe though, I'm sure Nick probably was like, I have to get up early tomorrow for my race. I have to go to bed. I have to wake up early tomorrow for my race. I would have been like, good luck. Can't wait to see how you do when you get back. But then you get the text message, hey, after my race, can we meet up? And no one says anything. And then you come in the house and everyone goes, did you rip off a flower shop?
That's the thing. Nobody says like, how'd it go?
Yeah, I felt bad for Nick. I did. But he doesn't really hold it. He just said, like, I just wanted to say this, tell you I'm hurt, move on.
I appreciate that. We all got to be more honest and not let things build. Like, just say the little things with no attitude. He was just like, I wish you guys would have shown up for me in the smallest way of even a text.
I even would have then said, I don't love then walking into this house not being asked about my race, and then I'm getting everyone's yelling at me for asking them to help out and clean.
But the people who yelled at are not down there, so that'd be taking it out on the wrong group.
Well, I would have just mentioned him and like, so if you guys could just fucking help, that would be great.
If you guys can just go harass Bria to actually just put a towel in the bathroom, that'd be great.
If you guys could just do Bria's job because she's not gonna fucking do it, and I don't want to deal with that bitch, you know? Okay, so but Noelle was like, listen, I wasn't gonna wake up, but just the text. I am team text for Nick.
Correct.
Okay, so. Then Nick assigns people their chores, and everyone's cracking up because Nick is like a drill sergeant. He is. You do kitchen. You're outside. You start doing push-ups. Like, it's just everything.
I appreciate this, though, because if you are so type A, you got to make sure everything's handled. So, like, if you want it done a certain way, you got to speak up and say that.
And you know what? People are type A. And if we were a world of type Bs, nothing would get done.
Correct.
So good for Nick to be like, you guys are offering to help. This is what I need you to do. Because listen, I'm not going to go find something to do myself. You have to tell me what to do.
1,000%. If it is your event, I'm not going to go seek things out except for like the obvious, you know, like dishes and whatever.
Yeah, I'll make sure there's nothing on the ground.
But like when he was talking about like the bar being done, I was like, I never would have.
I would have never thought to Windex in the bathroom. So like, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
But they ask like, is Tasia here? And he goes, Tasia's on the ground. She's priority number 1.
I was like, what the fuck is going on
everyone
with this
goes on the ground, and he's like, she's in the vineyard. And Jordan goes, no, great. Yeah, use code words for she's here.
Yeah, because Amir's like, is she upstairs?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, on the island.
Could have just said, she's here on island. It would have saved so much time. So Jordan's cracking up. Anyway, Nick really wants the best time for Tayshia because last year it wasn't good. Because it was the girls telling Tayshia that they didn't even know that her and Nick were together. Which I, again, didn't think was like that crazy. It was, I remember being like.
It's just a different type of personality because I was just sitting here thinking too, we haven't really heard about Tayshia or him and his relationship this summer. I think he's, and not in a bad way. If it's not in front of him, that's not what he's worrying about, like outwardly. I'm sure he's calling Tayshia like you and I have discussed on like a previous episode, and they're not cutting it in. But it's not his entire focus while he's here, which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Nick, like Amir's relationship is giving high school, and Nick's relationship is giving adult.
Yeah.
Like we live two separate lives. Like Nick's relationship is almost what I thrive for. In like we both have our separate lives, and we just like, you know, not occasionally, but we like go into and out of each other's lives, but we're still living our own.
And when I'm with you, like the presence he's giving, so when she's about to become, like she is coming and he is giving all his energy now to her coming, beautiful.
Which is great. But like, it's like Nick or Natalie and Amir are like, if we're not together, we're having miserable times because our life is one life almost, you know?
Yeah. Nick is in a very secure relationship.
That's it. It's giving adult. It's giving secure. It's giving like, I believe in my partner, and like, I will continue to do my thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like Tayshia's one of those people where it's like, if you can have Nick, if he cheats on me, he's not worth it. He's not mine. Like she is like, you just go do you. Yeah. I'm going to do me, and I'll see you when I see you. And it's so beautiful to me. Anyway. But last summer, it was like the girls were so like, he's so touchy-feely.
That was a little bit more deserved because he was like sliding up on their Instagram stories. Like he was being a little more forward than she probably knew.
But I think they had just started dating. Like I don't even think. No, because
they're dating 2 years now. Him and Tayshia had been dating for a year. Almost a year coming into last season.
Oh.
So it wasn't like a new fling.
Okay. I still remember though being like, if Tayshia doesn't
it was weird.
It was one of those things where it's like, if Taysia's okay, we got to move on with it.
1,000%. The way they did it was not.
Yeah, good. They bombarded her, I think. And she was like, I don't even know you, you know? Like we just met. Okay. Also, Tayshia's sister is coming, and like Nick and Tayshia's group of friends. So Nick can have like a little safety net for Tayshia if she needs to escape his friends,
which is
so caring. Which is so caring. Yeah. So it's 2:03 p.m. The house is cleaning, except Shanice and Noelle. They are being chased by bees in the backyard.
Okay, this is my thing. You can't like sit in a communal area showing that you're not working. You got to go hide in your room.
Literally go pretend you're on the toilet forever. Like don't flaunt that you're not cleaning. And if
I will help, I will do my thing. But the minute I am done, I will go hide in my room.
Yeah. So, Nick's friend and cousin are here. And Nick's also like putting flowers on the bed for Tayshia. He's so cute. Okay.
I at first I was like, whose fucking room is this? And I was like, Shanice's. I know that
gave
angle
up her
from
room.
Her crawling
Shanice
over.
is going to live in the boys' quarters for the week. Or for the night. It's just one night. Tayshia's here one night and one night only.
Oh, we are not giving Tayshia opportunity to talk with these girls more than one night.
I also think she just doesn't want to be on TV.
This is not her moment, and not in the like way that Natalie said it. Like she is just
but she's okay with Nick being on TV, where I think Natalie's not happy Amir's on TV, you know?
I agree with that.
It's a very different relation. I love looking at other people's relationships on TV. Yeah.
Especially the juxtaposition of them, like seeing them both play out.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is fun. Okay, so Summer finds a sober friend in Bria, Nick's friend. So they're going to be sober together tonight, which I think is a smart move for Summer.
Oh, yeah.
Don't fuck up Luxe on the Bluff, okay? Alex has to sing his single, or else I'm just
and
kidding.
when you're in a like, hey, I just blew up my life and did some bad thing, like shame spiral, being sober the next night will really
Exactly.
I mean, it's not, it won't fix things by any means. You're just going to keep hating yourself, but it's definitely necessary.
So Tasia is here, and she is gorgeous. I forgot about how beautiful this woman is.
I know.
Nick really, wow.
I would love more information about their real life and him to talk more. Again, maybe they cut it out.
I don't think she wants it, honestly. I think she's like, this is your thing, and like if it's us, it's not going to be as public.
That's actually really smart.
I probably also, if I'm not on reality TV, but the person I'm dating is, I would also be like, if I'm not getting paid to put out like that, you're not getting my story.
I don't think I could be. I know I say this all the time that I feel like I could be on reality TV, but I would not want to have a public relationship.
Yeah, so I would want it, like Tasia's Instagram is private. She, I don't think, wants anything to do with this, which I always support.
Kind of find it weird when the like significant other's not really on TV, not really a part of the show, when they're public and they have like 20,000 followers. I'm like, that must be so weird for you. You're kind of public with like the people who are obsessed with you.
Just know this show. But also Nick's not crazy famous, right? So I think she's like, this isn't for me, which is so fair. She doesn't want to do it. I think I would be in a similar position, though people always tell me like, I think you'd be great on reality TV, but like I wouldn't want this. I wouldn't want to be famous like this. I
think we could do it and be really great, but you gotta dedicate your life to it.
It's a lot of work.
You're giving up a lot.
And like specifically if I'm not signing up for it and I have a job and a career and a family, like you're not going to see my life. Specifically as a significant other who's not getting paid, you're not going to see my life.
Oh no, I would be so upset.
Yeah.
And I
because I did try to creep on Tasia a little bit.
I respect her for coming on for a little bit and not dedicating her life. Like, thank you for the appearance, because it is kind of frustrating as a viewer to have like a whole chunk of somebody's life off limits.
It's frustrating when we can't talk about it, but Nick talks about her. They show pictures. She comes to visit. So, like, I think we get enough. Whereas, like,
I appreciate this.
On Vanderpump Rules, we didn't get Randall and Lala at all. Or, like, Patrick and Stassi.
And, like, with Lindsay, like, her now boyfriend, like, baby daddy is I bet there's no pictures of him going to be on that next season. So, like, I appreciate when we can just, like, have 5 seconds of your, like, life.
Yeah, I think it depends how you're going about it, right? Like, I think if you're being sneaky with your significant other, it looks crazy, and I don't want that. But, like, Nick's very open about who he's dating. I think Lindsay, too, will also be like, I'm dating someone. He does not want to be on the show, and we just need to respect that. But I also think it's like, why? You know? If you don't want to be on the show because you don't want your secrets coming out, like, fine, but that looks sketchy. I think Tasia genuinely is just like, this isn't for me.
This doesn't interest me.
Yeah. But I do like how she shows up for Nick because this is his thing. So he's like, she's like, I'll do an episode. But maybe that's also why we don't see him calling her. Maybe she's like, please don't call me while you're being filmed.
While you're mic'd up. Yeah.
I don't want
like
that.
in all those car rides, because he like hopped in that producer car. Maybe he like talked to her this morning.
Yeah. So we don't know, but I think Tasia's gorgeous. Anyway, I love Nick going to meet Tasia, and he smells himself really quick and then gives her a hug and is like,
he's like so upset he couldn't like shower beforehand because he's like running around, and I was like, ah, yeah.
He does say, he's like, sorry, I'm smelly, and she's like, how'd the race go? And I was like, someone asked. But Nick says Tasia is his heart, and he loves how she's smart and kind, and she looks out for him, and she gives him grace because Nick isn't perfect and he needs grace.
When sobbing. He said that,
I was sobbing.
That's why I want more of their relationship. Like I in a selfish way was so excited that I wanted more, but I totally respect the not getting more. But it just like those type of comments, when you allow a little bit of conversation about your relationship, does make people like fall in love with you, because that is a part of who Nick is. So like it was beautiful.
I also think it's really telling when people describe their significant others and I see what they list and like in the order they list it, you know? Like Nick never said I like her because she's hot or gorgeous or like, and those are all
anything
pluses.
About like her job or like.
Yeah, but he said she's smart, which is, that's the first thing. She's kind, which I think is one of the best compliments you can get from anyone. Yeah. She looks out for him, and Nick just like Nick wants to be small girl, you know? He just wants to, and then gives him grace. And that was beautiful.
I like the combo of him starting out with things just solely about her and who she is, but then also giving the things about like how he she treats him.
And he loves that.
Sometimes people will say immediately a comment basically back at themselves. And I'm always like, oh, that's tough. But like your dynamic does matter too.
Yeah, this was beautiful, honestly. So Natalie's the one that shows Tayshia to her room, which is Shanice's room. Nick's fucking busy. But Tayshia sees all her cute flowers and she's like, oh my God, he's so cute. And I was like, ah! I was screaming.
He must do stuff like this all the time because I feel like she didn't like, she was like, this is cute, surprised. But she wasn't, she was just like, oh, this is so pretty.
Nick also, I bet, really cares for Tayshia and looks out for her, which is also beautiful.
And it kind of seems like he's private too in the way that he probably shows up.
He doesn't post her either. I was trying to see if they're still together.
Interesting.
But he follows her on Instagram, so I'm assuming, but he does not post her.
But even with the flower situation, it's not like he was like, oh, can somebody help me with this?
Yeah, or
when he came in with the flowers, he was just like, oh, I need a lot. He didn't say like, oh, I want to put them all over.
He didn't brag about what he was doing. And I do love, sorry, I'm going back to this. I love that he doesn't post her on social media because I think that's him respecting her boundaries of like, don't post me on your public thing.
Yeah.
He's cute. I'm screaming. Okay. Anyway, Jordan talks to Summer while they're getting ready for Luxe on the Bluff. Mostly that Jordan knows Summer thinks there are cliques and that it's not easy to be friends with Jordan and Preston. And Summer says it's not like that, but she is struggling with like really heavy friendships right now. But she needs to be honest and share how she's feeling. And Jordan seems really receptive to this. She's like, I totally understand.
That made me feel really good how that conversation went.
Same. I think Jordan handled it really great. I think Summer explained herself in a really good way too.
Yeah. Because that's what I've been worried about, like how Natalie, that was my worry about Natalie kind of like having that conversation with Jordan is the like, oh, it's, you know, like tough to be friends with them. And it's like, it's not really about them or their thing or like it's such a hindrance, but like you do need that light airiness in friendships too, especially if you're going through a hard time.
Yeah, definitely. But Jordan just advises Summer to maybe like talk to Bria. And then we cut to Tayshia, who has to wash off Nick's tattoos from yesterday with a loofah. When he
hugged Tayshia, I was like, when did Nick get tattoos? And then I had to remember who he was the night before.
Yeah, he was freaky Nick, you know? Anyway, Shanice, we see moving downstairs to the boys' quarters. Jordan is downstairs in the kitchen with Bria and asks Bria how she is. Bria just says, like, there was no private conversation. Summer didn't initiate anything. Summer did make a comment, though, about how Simon doesn't fuck with Bria or something like that, which really hurt Bria.
I just took that as a general diss that when it was going on.
Yeah, apparently Bria had shared something. I don't remember exactly.
This is when we got, a clip, like a flashback. And it was like, oh, Bria had like told Summer and Jordan about her and Simon kind of having a fight while the booking thing happened. And I was like, see, I don't have the context to know that that was like actually a diss.
I think also it's like, Summer did this with Jordan, right? When Jordan was crying about her alopecia. And then Summer said, like, when she got drunk, she's like, you're crying. So, like, and I'm having your back. And Jordan felt very exposed that, like, Summer's using this against her. So it's against Summer being like, this is why Simon doesn't fuck with you. And Bria's like, I'm sharing stuff with you and you're just throwing it back to me.
That's so true.
Yeah. And then Summer walks right in as Bria's sharing her feelings.
Summer is real good at walking in on people talking about her.
Timing things. But she basically, like, it's as Bria is saying that she doesn't trust Summer and she's keeping her at a distance. And then Summer's like, hey, Bria, do you want to talk? And Bria's like, no, not now. And it was
Which awkward. I get. Like, this is not the time. Like, if you don't want to do the conversation now, don't do it right now.
Oh, but it was so awkward. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, people start showing up, including Mariah. She's here. So are the pizzas, which is very important to mention. We learn Natalie only drinks Casa Azul. Grow up. Drink a beer. Anyway. What if she has celiac? Don't drink a beer. Just drink whatever. So yeah.
She just seems like the type. Because later I see her with her like bottle in her room and I'm like, ugh, you're one of those
She's like,
people.
I actually have to go fill up I only drink like my own really expensive liquor. Just grab the Tito's and fucking shoot
and
it.
she hides it from everyone else. Like, she only wants her thing, and she's only going to bring enough for her. Yeah. And, like,
unless you're allergic to something, grab the cheap Tito's, throw it in your cup, and shoot it back, you know?
I think we grew up with, like, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Like, we are just easy breezy.
I tell people I still drink like I'm in college. If there's alcohol and it's in front of me, I'll drink it.
There are some things, like, I won't drink. You know, if, like, we're ordering shots, I have preferences, but I'm not walking into somebody's house being like, I'm sorry, I only do Grey Goose.
Someone comes over to me and goes, I bought a round of, I don't know, beers for everyone. I'm going to drink the beer.
I agree. The only thing I won't do is whiskey because I literally will throw up. And I'll just decline it and say, you take whatever you bought for me.
Yeah, thank you so much. But no, you're not going to be like, I only actually drink Casa Azul.
No.
Haha.
Nope. I'm not picky.
So, people are showing up. Simon fell asleep outside on the balcony. Whatever. Summer decides to be sober because she's showing up for herself and she has too much going on, which, as we talked about, is a smart decision.
You need it, girly.
And then Amir and Mariah run into each other in the kitchen. And
I was like, no.
It was so awkward. Don't. It turns out no one else is in the kitchen right now, which is extra weird. And then Mariah's like, hey, do you want to have a little quick talk? And Amir's face says, please no. But they're going to do it. But Amir tells us in an interview, he's like, I'll literally do Nick's chores again. Like, what is this?
I died laughing. Does anybody need anything? I can help with anything.
I can do it. I'll wait her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they sit on these chairs that are set up for set up for a Bravo reunion, truly.
They were like the bar stools turned around. I don't know why.
Yep.
And Mariah's like, oh my God, red bottom. Like, heels hurt so bad. And Amir's like, my pants are so tight. I'm like, why? No.
You're going to see my dick when it shoots out. Yeah, what?
He can't say a comment like that. Natalie would kill Mariah.
Him. Yeah. So Mariah says she was hurt last year, but Amir not speaking up, but witnessing the whole thing happen was extra hurtful to her.
Which we did get a flashback.
He does, but he doesn't say it loud. He's just like, it was, nope.
I can totally see what went through his mind. He like starts and is ready to interject and they are fighting and he's like, I don't want to be a part of that.
I wouldn't want a public apology, but if I'm Mariah, I'd be a little pissed too because now you're watching this happen.
I agree.
I don't know if anything would have changed. I don't know if anything would have changed, honestly.
I understand the text now. However, this conversation doesn't really need to happen.
I think just a private little, like, can you apologize for not speaking up?
Which I think happened in the text.
Yes. So, like, why are we doing this? Anyway, so Mariah's like, no one would put Dawn's clothes with the laundry, and you should know that as a real attorney.
I was like, am I missing something as a realtor? And she was like, you should know home etiquette.
Also, the music that's playing is like mystery, like da-da music. And it's like so whimsical and mysterious. Like even Bravo is poking fun at this.
And again, nobody's in the kitchen to like watch this like craziness go down.
This was so funny. So then Amir's like, being a realtor has nothing to do with laundry.
Amir thinks he's getting punked right now.
But it was an accident. And Mariah goes, I don't think it was an accident.
I was like, what?
Dun, dun. And then the music goes, dun, dun. You know, it was so funny. The music was so funny. But Mariah wants an apology. And Amir goes, I'm sorry that this happened.
He's like, we good?
And Mariah keeps going on and on about how Amir needs to understand. And Amir goes, look, yeah, I did something, but you reacted. And your reaction was your decision to the situation.
Yeah.
And Amir says, I don't know what you're looking for. And she says nothing. And he goes,
oh, she was looking for something.
So we're good. And he just walks away. Oh, I was cracking up this whole conversation.
God. You know Mariah wanted him to take full responsibility
publicly on camera.
Everything that went down.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And he's like, I didn't do anything, really.
It was so funny, though. This was so hilarious. It's 6:33 p.m. Party's continuing. Amir tells the boys about his conversation with Mariah, and Nick's basically like, this has been over a year, and we're talking about laundry. No? Weird? No?
Oh my God.
So, Shanice, Noelle, and Bria, our little clique, they're just hanging out.
They're giggling, having their lighthearted friendship
They
fun.
say this party is giving dryness. Like, Shanice could never dance here. And I was like,
oh.
But it turns into something crazy, which I didn't get.
But at the time, I was like, you're right, it is a little stale.
It was dry, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you could never, baby. Also, Natalie would hate you no matter what. Don't dance.
Very true. Natalie loves this party right now.
Oh,
this is a realtor, Natalie loves this
That's party. Why she is a realtor. This is Natalie's party. That's why she was helping set up, because this is her favorite fucking thing.
Oh my God. She was like, Luxe on the Bluffs. Yeah. She probably watched last season and loved that party.
She slipped Nick at 20 and was like, make it even more boring. Bet. So, Preston then talks to Summer, and Preston's like, hey, I heard it's hard to be my friend. You want to talk about that?
This made me sad.
And Summer immediately like gets really uncomfortable. So they go out, like, Preston's like, it's okay, we're here. Mm-hmm. And Summer says she just wished like she had a lighthearted friendship, and wishes like she was jealous that these girls were like goofing around and stuff.
Yeah.
And Summer says she's going through a really heavy time, and she like life feels really heavy, and she just like wants to have more like lighter friendships, which I don't think is wrong. I totally understand that.
She said that she appreciates how deep like her, Preston, and Jordan can be. But yeah, when you're going through something tough, like you don't always, it's hard to take on people's heaviness too when you are dealing with your own.
Yes. But then I like what Preston says, where he says he understands and says he'll be fun if that's what she needs. And I think that's just the other thing, like, you have to learn in friendships is like, yeah, even though you guys may have heavy moments, like, I think it's also really an important thing to be like, hey, like, my life is really heavy, so is yours. Can we just have like a night of fun? Let's not think about any of our heaviness. Let's not talk about it. Let's not cry. Let's just like goof around, you know?
Yeah.
And I think Summer just doesn't understand the balance, and I think her not sharing her heaviness, I would think Preston and Jordan then don't think she's going through anything, so they can dump their heaviness on her.
Yeah. I didn't like them in the interview chairs though, when they were like, I would much rather have a friendship that's deep than a friendship that's fun. And I was like, that's not what she's saying. Like, she's not saying that you guys can't have a deep friendship, or she doesn't appreciate that side either. Well, like,
yeah, I think deep friendships are fun though.
I think they are too, but I think it just made it look like the Shanice, like her desire to have the giggling that Shanice, Bria, and Noelle was having was like flip it. And it's like, no, we talked about in our pre-show today, like having bits and like laughter with people, like we live for that. Like you and I do, at least. Like I maybe not everybody does, but I would need that.
I agree. I think Summer's just struggling to realize that like she can have that with her current friend situation.
How to like pull it out of them, or like turn the moments into that.
But I also think there's different friends for different things. True. Like, if you ask me who was the most fun on this show, I wouldn't pick Jordan. Like,
no,
she seems like the type of girl I could go get like dinner with, and we could discuss life goals, and we could like really dig deep. Point. And I could have a really like fun, deep friendship with Jordan. But if you ask me who I want to go to the club with at 3 a.m., it's Shanice. You know, I think it just I think it depends, and I think like Summer. But you can't have a group of like all party girls.
Yeah.
Like Bria, I don't want to go to the club with Bria at any time. And so, but then Bria, Noelle, and Shanice probably don't discuss the heavy shit. Shanice isn't talking about her job situation. Noelle's not talking about her being rejected. Bria's not talking about her issues with Simon. It's all lighthearted. So it's really important to...
That's so true. And like Bria went to Jordan in Summer when she was dealing with stuff with Simon. That's true. You got to like look for who fulfills that in you.
Yeah, I think Summer's looking for the wrong thing with the wrong people, but I also think she just needs to learn to be more honest about what she needs, and I think the funness will come from like Preston and Jordan just not dumping their heaviness on her.
Yeah, I think all three of those people are in like really bad spots with their like heaviness is really heavy
right now.
So it's just very overpowering that you can't, those aren't your people for fun right now. Like even if they can be fun in 6 months time, like today isn't it.
Yeah, so I just think it's like that balance. But like I said, I also think Jordan and Preston in this interview, when they were like, we need a deep friendship, it's not that they can't have fun. It's that they have fun within the deep friendship.
I agree. I don't think it's one or the other. Well, I think some people can be, but I don't think Summer is saying it's one or the other. Like she's abandoning them for funness. She just, I think, needs a little fun.
Yeah. The problem is also, though, in deep friendships, you could still go to the club at 3 a.m. and shit, but you're going to start by pre-gaming going, how's your life? How's work going?
Correct.
So the heaviness will come out, but then you'll like move past it.
That's so true. Like they will always ask those questions because your friendship is deep. And so I think what Preston in the conversation he had with Summer on the like deck was like, you just got to tell me. Like if you don't want to talk about that stuff, you got to be more open to be like, I'm having a day. Let's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas Shanice isn't going to ask you about your life.
No. Shanice is going to ask like what you're wearing.
Yeah. She doesn't give a fuck.
And they're like throwing the wig to giggle about it.
She's busy.
She doesn't care about Nana.
She doesn't care about Nana. But Jordan and Preston are the ones that are going to care about Nana. And I think the other thing is, the main problem that I mentioned is Summer hasn't shared she's going through heavy shit. So they don't know to ask about it and to like what she needs for it because she's not being open.
That's true. And to like alleviate their dumping onto other people, like you said, like to redirect their own heaviness. Yeah.
So I think there's
like
a lot
redisperse.
Of miscommunication.
1000%.
Okay. So then Nick calls Tasia his missus.
Publicly across the table. God. He's like, over there in the white, that's my missus.
Oh my God, I would right around die if I was in love.
Missus is not the term I want, but like this like gesture in this type of conversation.
That's my forever. Yeah, that's my girl forever. Yeah. But like the foreverness of it, if I was in love with a man, this would drive, I'd be like, put a ring.
And what's crazy is like, we said just a moment ago, like they're not so public and needing to do this, but like they show up for each other. Like it's not that you have to shout it from the rooftops, like, and make this grand gesture in front of other people. Like Nick is just talking to one guy saying this like, across,
that's my missus. Yeah.
Across like the party being like,
that's
Tasia
doesn't even hear him. It's not even for like this.
It's like,
it's just him. It's just him loving her.
Yes, that I would love about reality TVs. You get to see all those little conversations you're not around for. Which
I hope Tasia watches this episode only and like dies inside. I know. Okay, so Noelle has her friend Destiny here. You might be thinking, what's so special about Destiny that Alicia had to learn her name? Well, Destiny walks past Amir, and Amir does a double take, and he goes, "Is that Jordan?" And we see the side by side. Jordan and Destiny both have the same hairstyle tonight. They're in the same exact color outfit, and it's both like kind of the same style. So honestly,
to a guy especially,
I too would go, "Is that Jordan?"
I thought it was whenever he said it because she just like flashes by him.
Yeah, but then he looks and he goes, "No, that's not Jordan," and that's it. That's all he says.
Destiny's hair is, I'm gonna say, fluffier, more volume than Jordan. So like if I thought it was somebody and then their hair was slightly different, it would catch me off guard.
Yeah. Also, as we know, Jordan is struggling with alopecia. She has a ton of wigs. So maybe Amir was also like, did she get a new wig? You know?
Did she could have literally changed mid-party.
Yeah. Is that a new wig? So Natalie immediately is upset. And Amir's like, what's wrong?
Well, she like goes quiet and he's like, what's going on?
And she's like, I'm fine. And he's like, no, what's going on? And she says, you said, is that Jordan? And Amir's like, yeah, because Jordan's got a lot of wigs. I thought that she changed wigs.
I thought that was her.
Well, he literally goes, these girls have a ton of wigs. I just thought it was a new wig. Like, I think Amir, first of all, as we know, Amir is really learning Black culture. He's really like, wigs are a huge part of Black culture. I'm sure he's like, wigs. Like, first of all. And second, yeah, I would also double take. It's not like he was like, damn, Jordan looks hot in that wig.
Because we got, obviously, like a preview clip of this, just the, like, you said it was Jordan. When we see the actual clip go down, and he goes, "Oh, is that Jordan?" I was waiting for oh my God, is that Jordan?
Yeah,
like playing or something.
It was
or like
so innocent. It'd be like you and me going, what type of dog is that? If you listen to our pre-show. Like, what kind of yeah, we don't love one dog more than the other.
Something passed a body, and the person said, what was that?
What kind of animal is that? Yeah, fucking, is it Jordan? And Natalie is so mad. She's like, but you at like, is that Jordan? And Amir's just like, whatever.
And
like,
this is so dumb.
The two relationships of the boys right now compared is crazy. Tayshia's not anywhere near Nick, and Natalie gets upset when Amir's admiring wigs on a woman
right next to her. Saying
it's to her. It's not even the person. He just is that Jordan.
He literally said it to Natalie.
Her. We're just it was.
I was dumbfounded.
Crazy. If Tayshia watches this episode, she's going to be thrilled. If Natalie watches it, I hope she dies of embarrassment. This was so stupid.
There is no way this is just... And she needs a lot of time to change this type of behavior. This is insane to me.
Anyway, we cut to... Everyone goes out back so Nick can give his Luxe on the Bluffs cheers.
We got to do, a back patio... big announcement.
So he thanks everyone, specifically Tayshia. And then he shares how he ran this race and why number 5 is important to him with his fraternity brother. He says Tayshia calls 5 his angel number, which is just so cute.
They're adorable.
And Nick tells us about HBCU culture, which Meredith and I aren't that familiar with, but we did watch a show called...
We are tuned in.
We did watch a show called All-American Homecoming that takes place in HBCU.
So we do know about the homecoming culture.
If you don't know what it stands for, though, do you know, Meredith? It's a historically black college and university.
So, but we do know about the homecoming culture because of that show. Homecoming. Yeah, I was so excited. Like, I do really. This is why diversity, on our screens, is so important because you get to learn about cultures in a natural environment.
And before All American, I did not know when HBCU was.
I knew what an HBCU was, but I didn't know how important homecoming was. I would have just assumed
I had no idea.
It was like a state school, where some people go and some people don't, but it is way more important to HBCUs.
It's so important.
And it's just so, I love just naturally learning. Obviously as a white person myself, I should also be seeking it out. And I do do my best, seeking out, to educate myself as much as possible. But it's so nice in an entertainment form to constantly be learning and growing about other people who aren't like me.
I also think it's beautiful to, like you said, naturally have these opportunities for not only people of color on our screens, but also for them to share their culture with us, but for us to learn it in a way that's really fun. This show, it's fun for us to learn about Black culture. It was fun for us to learn about the Vineyard. It was fun for us to learn about how what it means to Black people. Same thing with All American. It was fun for us to learn.
And I bet, this is me speaking on their behalf, and anybody can disagree with me, but I bet it's also less work. A lot of the work on education ends up falling on people of color to do the work to teach a lot of white, we're in America, so for us Americans, about their culture, and they have to do the legwork on teaching. And this ends up not being they're getting paid as a job to create a show, but not being work to just be themselves
to explain.
And openly let people learn about the things that are important to them and their culture and their values.
Because they're talking about things that they love, and that's never hard for people to do.
No.
And they get paid to do that, and we're interested, and we're begging for more. That's amazing.
Bring them back, Bravo. Bring them back.
Anyway, so Nick talks about, the homecoming culture, and he says that his brother that he lost was always there with him, and it was very important for all of them. And it was even more, this friend's death was terrible. He drowned, and
I was shocked.
He was a seasoned swimmer and a lifeguard. So that's shocking.
So
that's one of those freak accidents that you're just that's terrible. But Nick, while he's speaking, gets upset because his friend had so much more to give to the world, and Nick just misses him so dearly. He even takes a moment in his interview that like broke my heart to like gather himself.
I bet it's hard to find peace in that type of moment.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. It just, to me, like sudden deaths like that where you don't expect it is like the hardest.
Like, it's never easy to lose someone, but obviously, like, if you have your grandparents go and they've lived a full life.
Yeah, and
like,
you've, like, prepared for it in a way.
Yeah.
This is, like, you don't get any closure and you never will.
And you think about the potential in the future that he could have had. Like, that'll just keep you, it's those what ifs that'll keep you up at night.
But I'm happy Nick is dedicating, like, this to his friend. I'm glad Nick has found solace in the number 5 and, like, continues to feel his friend around him. And I'm glad he has Tasia there to help him through it. Anyway.
So cute.
Nick says, cheers to being Black. It does get a little dangerous sometimes, but still kind of lit.
When he said that, I cackled with them. They are so funny.
They're so funny. And like, truly, there are terrible, terrible things that have happened to Black people in America specifically, because that's what we know. But I love, it's one of those things that like, you just kind of have to realize it, have a little giggle about it, and be like, but we're still amazing people. And we love our culture.
The Black joy, the Black love down or like hidden because of the terribleness.
The power in being Black. Yeah. We're not going to hide it.
You know what? That is like truly, if I told somebody to watch, like,
that is this show.
To watch this show, that is what I would describe it as.
Yeah. It's just like the joy and the power of being Black. And celebrating
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yes. Every day it's a celebration constantly.
I swear to God, get this show back on the air before I die.
I just don't understand the decision
I'm gonna tweet Bravo tonight.
Every day, constantly.
Have you brought it back yet? Maybe. Do you think they're on pause because like Jasmine's a new mom and like Silas isn't back?
No, because she had the baby in January of 24, I believe, or like February, and they film every September. And to be honest, I'm going to be real honest here. They could ditch Jasmine, no offense to Jasmine, and it would be okay. Like, if the baby is the concern, it's not the concern because she was barely doing anything this season thus far.
If all the cast members are willing to come back, I support it. Let's do it. Let's do season 3.
In our real time as we're recording this, there were some of them on the Vineyard over the weekend. And I watched their stories like 7 times.
Beautiful. I love them.
I know.
Okay. Should we keep going? Yeah. So now it's 9 p.m. and it's time to break out the shots. So this party
Shanice is probably so happy. Oh my God. She loves some shots.
Shanice was dying on the inside. This party fucking sucks. Anyway, so then the Kappa Alpha Psi frat brothers start the party off by strolling, which is also part of Black culture.
Yes.
Which I believe we'll learn about. Oh, no. So strolling and stepping, it's a thread that binds the Divine Nine, which I am familiar with the Divine Nine. They are all the Black sororities and fraternities. So, like, Noelle is also a part of the Divine Nine because I believe she was an Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, so back in the day, there were no, like, DJs or music, so they had to, like, kind of make their own, and they did this by strolling and stepping and, like, coming up with beats. Yeah. And it's truly, I loved when the Divine Nine at my college would, like, step for us. I loved it.
I love that their sororities and fraternities, it is truly a lifelong bond. And like,
that's
it's
really
such
beautiful.
A piece of community. I was in a stupid little, Greek life sorority and couldn't care less about it. Like, and that kind of made me sad. Like, we don't hold on to things like this.
Truly, I forget which sorority I was in sometimes. Like, if people ask me, I'm like, give me a sec.
It was stupid what I was in, but like, I love watching this and seeing that it truly means something and is a community for life.
Yeah.
And like, I think, was Nick the one like talking about strolling and stepping? Like,
Alex.
Okay. Alex saying it like, this binds them even after, like you said, like you would like watch them like at your university while you were in college, but like they're
so
doing this
amazing.
At a party. Like, I just love that.
I love it. There's a lot I hated about my experience in a sorority, to be honest. And now I don't claim it really. But yeah, it is sad that I spent that much time and money and effort in something that I don't really care that much about.
No.
So I'm so happy that like this lives on.
Like, I laugh when people say it's not 4 years, it's for life. I'm like, no, it's fucking not.
Well, it was barely 4 years for me. I couldn't wait to escape.
Me too.
Okay, so they like joke. They want Jasmine's like baby to pledge. I believe Silas is also.
He was in a fraternity with Preston,
who I believe is in the same one at. I think Preston and Silas went to the same college, but I think they're all Kappa Alpha size.
I don't know. No. They're not.
Okay.
They're definitely different than. Okay. So I think, because was it Alex or Nick saying this to Jasmine's baby?
I think
whoever
Nick
was saying it is in a different fraternity than Silas.
And that's why Jasmine was like, no.
Yeah, she's like, he's not going to pledge. And they were like, yes, he is. Yeah. Like, they're trying to like get him on their side.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And then Nick and his line brothers are here. They do the shimmy. Ladies love the shimmy. Amir really loves the shimmy too. He wants to be a part of it, but he can't because he's not a brother. And Alex is like, Amir's a Kappa interest, but he's not part of us.
I found this out that like our sororities, you know, like are very judgmental, would not let, like, you are not, I don't know about you, but whenever I went through recruitment, like if there was somebody who was like older than the like standard college age, it was like looked down upon. But in a like Black sorority and fraternity, anybody can join, any race, any age. Like it is just solely about community. Yeah. So like Amir could go join a Black like this fraternity.
Yeah, which is also really beautiful, and I love how like inclusive they are, because I got offered the Divine Nine. I went and like talked to them, and they were amazing and so fun. My college was just very, very small.
Yeah.
So there weren't as many opportunities for that. And also I kind of wish I did. Like my sorority was,
I know,
we would fucking joke because there were only a handful of us that were people of color in my sorority. And we'd always be like, there, because then once you get into it, spoiler alert, sororities love a quota. And they want people of color. And I learned I was a fucking quota. And I went, this fucking sucks.
It is run exactly like our world is.
Whereas.
Except worse.
The Divine Nine are the opposite. They welcome fucking everybody. They're not just taking you because you need a quota.
Yep.
I did college wrong. Anyway.
But it's like, it's funny to know like what you know now. Like your eyes just get so much wider the more you learn. Like this is why this type of stuff is so important.
Truly. Okay, so then Phil sneaks into the house a little bit.
I couldn't remember if he was invited or not, and I started to get a little nervous.
He's also underdressed, so my God. And now it's time to dance. And I would just like to say, so I was telling Meredith, I went to a bar in Brooklyn this weekend. It was primarily like Black DJs. I think there was one Hispanic DJ, but they played like, you know, like music that would be very important to a Black community more than a white community. And let me tell you, people were dancing. And I looked at my friend and I went, my knees could never. And she was like, she looks at me and she's like, I'm Black and my knees could never. Because they can get down. And let me tell you, this party got down, and it was amazing.
Love it. I'm not a big dancer, but like I enjoy watching it. Like I just don't want to be out there.
I
would
if my knees could cooperate. This was so fun.
Loved watching this,
and everyone's on beat. Oh, do you know how mad people off beat make me? It drives me nuts
because it's not that hard. I truly don't think it's that hard.
Sorry, tangent. I had a friend growing up, and she loved going to concerts. And she would always clap off beat, and she drove me nuts. Like,
I don't get it.
Oh my God, it drove me up a wall. I'd be like,
I get if you get distracted or you like get like because you're hearing, you know, like in a crowd how like slowly it can get off beat. I get that.
But I was right next to her, and she was clapping at a different beat than I was.
That's the thing. If somebody just plays a song in a car and people clap off beat, I don't get it. It's there for you.
Off, I know.
It's consistently the same beat.
Get yourself a metronome and learn how to dance on beat. It's not hard. Anyway, so Summer goes upstairs. She's exhausted and sober. She's had 3 really hard conversations and she just wants some peace and quiet, which I think is really good. Go to bed, take your time, totally fine. But the party is fucking lit. She's missing out, let me tell you. And Jordan,
but she does not need to be a part of this. She cannot be this person tonight.
It sucks though for you because Jordan is DJing. We're having a great time. We're line dancing, which is so fun. Mm-hmm. And then Simon goes upstairs to his and Bria's room because he's got a surprise. He changes into a flamingo costume.
Which, this is another moment. We got like a teaser about Bria getting mad at this. And I was like, why is she mad at this?
Like later. All we know is he's getting into this flamingo outfit.
I was like, here we go.
Yeah. And then he walks downstairs and Nick is pissed because Tasia's like, it's breathe, it's fun, it's funny.
This does seem like no matter what, like Bria says later, this is something no matter what, Nick would hate no matter what.
Yeah, Tasia, I think, again, very clearly is like, breathe, it's okay, it's just funny. And Nick cuts to his interview and he goes, it's not funny.
Which, okay, this may be kind of mean. And maybe we didn't see enough, but like, is this whole night just supposed to be about his friend that passed? Because it just felt like it was like a little something that slipped in there.
It felt like a party. I don't think Simon's thing was a big deal. I think it's more of like, read the room. Like, no one else is dressed up in costume.
True.
And you're going to come down in a flamingo outfit.
And also, you know what? It is kind of early in the night. Like, it's not like everybody's so hammered that this becomes, like, funny. That's what I was taking this at first. And I was like, oh, we're at that point in the night where it's just, like,
even Phil isn't doing this bullshit, you know? And, like, not to be this person, but, like, one of the only white dudes is the one doing it.
That's the only thing. Okay, if
this is to celebrate Black culture.
Like last night, if he did this, do you find that weird?
Oh yeah, Freaknik. Yeah, go off.
That's the thing. I was like, oh, if he just came down at a party, a generic party, I feel like this isn't weird. But then like the layers start to build as we go on.
Yeah, I just thought of it as like read the room.
Yeah.
And then we find out that like Bria had previously told him, like, don't do this thing. And she said it's Nick's night. Like, he's not going to like this. Mm-hmm. So it's been discussed and you're still going to do it.
That's the thing is, like, what I just said is where I sat whenever I first saw him, like, waddle down. I was like, Jesus, Simon, of course Simon would.
I'd be more like, you're embarrassing. Yeah.
At first I was like, oh my God, he's like always doing something. And just another Simon moment.
Around.
Well, because like last night he was like jumping onto the like, he's always
Simon. That crazy guy.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, here's Simon. Where did he pull this thing out of? Yeah. And then we start getting flashbacks and conversations. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. My other thing was like, this isn't a costume party, dude. Everyone's like dressed to the nines. And yeah, we're dancing, but we're not like, the lights are still on. We're not trashy. We're just.
I know. When we got the preview, I thought there was a flamingo in his pocket. Oh. And I thought that's what Bria got mad at because he wasn't wearing it in the preview. And I was like, what's the problem with a little flamingo in the pocket?
No, he is a flamingo.
No. Yeah.
Nick's also not surprised because Simon's this guy, you know? He's always dancing on counters and jumping in pools when it's inappropriate timing. Like, I think we get last year, they were literally fighting and he's like on a counter, like jamming. And then last year also at Luxe on the Bluff, he jumped in the pool and everyone was like, no one joined him. And this is where
I was like, you know what? Simon is always doing this. And I was like, that is not funny. This is not your party or like your scenario to be this guy. And so I like slowly started unpeeling the like, no, this isn't cool.
He's that guy you don't want to invite.
He always makes it about him. He always has to be the center of attention. Yeah. Like, I get why this is frustrating.
And if Phil's not doing
like you said, you're the only white guy in this room. You don't need to make it about you.
You don't need to do it. So, Bria is pissed. I also think it's embarrassing because this is your man, you know, like get it together.
I agree.
But she's like upstairs now. And I was like, and like Preston is also like kind of shooing him out as Bria like leads the way. And then
like, Simon's mad that she's having a reaction.
Yeah, Simon just wants more alcohol. This dude trashed.
Oh my God. When he was like, just let me finish my drink. I was like, oh, you don't get, okay. This isn't just like a funny little bit. Also, you're hammered and nobody else is.
Did you see that large pour he did of the Grey Goose?
Yes.
That was a big pour.
I'm not joking. For me going from like, oh, it's no big deal to holy fuck in the span of like 2 minutes, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, it was not. I think for you, wasn't it, when Nick was like, I'm not surprised, and you saw it and you were like, never mind.
No, it didn't even start there because I was like, oh, Nick hates everything. Like, Nick is just so serious that I was like, Nick. Whatever. And then I just slowly realized like, oh, right. And like, that's the wake-up call I feel like some of us need. I feel like I need a lot. Like, you don't need to do this moment all the time.
Oh, I don't think you would do this. This is crazy.
I don't think I would do this in this moment. But I could see if I went to the bathroom and I like saw like a Santa hat, something a little bit more like toned down.
Yeah.
Like you grab it, or like funny sunglasses, or like
just something. Be a performer. And I get that. But Simon's also so trash, dude. You don't have to perform.
That's the thing.
Your world is already revolving around you. Like, we're already there. So Bria's trying to get Simon upstairs. He's dilly-dallying because he's in this flamingo suit and he wants to drink because his drink's empty. So he needs more. And Bria grabs like the flamingo head of this inflatable.
She's trying to break it because it like inflates itself.
And she like pulls it like really hard. And that makes Simon so mad. And they start yelling. And
I got even more concerned. I was like, just get upstairs, please.
Yeah. Bria's so embarrassed. Simon, though, goes to get that Grey Goose we just talked about. And then we cut to Natalie upstairs with Donald and Tasia. I don't know what the three guests are planning. But they obviously they have some business to talk about. Yeah. But they don't get anywhere near the business because across the hall, Simon and Bria are yelling at each other. And Natalie, girl likes the tea. She goes, shh, we need to listen. She's like, meeting cut short.
Natalie loves to gossip.
You know what?
Listen, I do too.
Find joy where you can find joy. She hates it here, but there's plenty of shit to gossip about.
That's the thing.
So, also, I thought it was hilarious because I hear arguments too. I'm gonna be like, cut the conversation. We gotta listen.
1,000%.
Tasia, shut up.
Ear to the door frame, or like I would be going into the room that's next to theirs to get my ear on a wall. Like I will do the investigative work.
Donald, you're breathing too loudly. Shut up. Tasia, stop
breathing.
Stop concerning yourself with Nick. We gotta listen. Get with it. So, Bria calls Simon crazy. And Simon says he's just having a good time. And Bria's like, I told you not to bring out the flamingo. And they're arguing. And Bria goes, this relationship's over. And Simon goes, it's over because I'm wearing a flamingo.
Which, like, on its own
honestly,
line.
Like, yeah, I guess.
So, I mean, you did it to yourself, sir, but what a line.
Bria's like, I told you no. And then Bria's pissed because this is about respecting her friends and her feelings, which I agree. But they argue, and Bria tells him to pack his shit up and go.
Also, like, he made this so about himself that that episode ends up being named Flamingo on the Bluffs.
No, poor Nick and his Luxe on the Bluffs.
That's when it really hit me when I was like, it popped up the name. I was like, yeah, that it really nail in the coffin there. I was like, okay, we really went full circle, Meredith.
Fun. That's not fun. Anyway, then we get a to be continued, but then we get stuff on next time, which I would like to say, A, stop giving me to be continued.
No.
B, if you're going to give me a to be continued, stop giving me extra shit at the end. That's what to be continued means. It means that we're not going to see anything.
That's the thing. I should be shocked at what is happening.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't know how it's going to end up.
Are you saying the fight will be to be continued?
Stupid.
Because then just end the fight and end the episode, you know?
Exactly.
There was no need for to be continued to be here. Anyway, next time, the group rides bikes. Amir feels sick. Natalie's ready to talk to Tasia about what's been happening in the house with Nick, which I was like,
Natalie,
you?
You are telling her what?
And Nick is pissed, which I would be too. Because what's happening? We squashed what was happening, didn't we?
Well, not only that, but like, Natalie, you weren't here for any of it, and you're not in this house. You were a guest at this moment.
Natalie wants to be on the show.
Natalie, drama.
She wants to be on the show. But guess what, honey? It's an all-black cast, and you're not invited.
It ain't about you, babe.
Like half of them. Yeah, out. So, that's how it ends. And now we can do fun, not fun.
Man.
I'm going to go. Do you think that the 3 guests are eligible for fun, not fun?
No.
Because I know you and I want to pick Natalie.
We did last time, I think.
Okay, we'll do now then.
So let's do yes, because I think we did allow them to be in it last time.
Did we really?
I don't know if we picked them, but we did talk about Simon being a hoot.
Oh, yeah, but we definitely, I don't think I'm fact checking us right now. Because, guys, I got a new ring light, so it's really allowed me to use my keyboard a lot more than I had. We did not pick them last time.
Okay, so I think they're off the table then.
Okay, because Natalie's the worst, for sure. She's going to be my not fun next
Simon,
week.
Too. Can we just say that they suck?
Yeah, I'm here for Tasia. And if Natalie's ruining Tasia's time, I will not stand for it.
In the guests, Tasha on top.
Yeah.
Simon and Natalie,
cut. So, who's your fun, not fun?
Start
with not fun.
We gotta go Summer. That's just a brutal one. I just don't like she isn't fully taking accountability and apologizing for like what she did to Noelle. I did appreciate how she had those Preston and Jordan conversations, but it's just not good. The day after is a hard one, and because of that, like, because she basically spiraled down her life, then she can't show up to the party and have a good time.
Yeah. Summer's not fun. Summer isn't fun. That's funny to say because summer is a name, but also a season that this podcast is named after. Also, sorry, I'm just looking up to see if Bria and Simon are still together after this. When was this filmed? September 2023. Mm-hmm. It looks like as of June
I think
this year they were still together. She hasn't.
We'll have to see what she says at the reunion because that's like in May. I'm very curious at where their relationship's at.
So as of June 8th, she had posted a picture with him, but there's nothing since. But that's only been 2 months, so who knows?
And like they live in different countries.
That's true. So who really knows? But that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, my not fun is gonna be Bria because she drives me up a fucking wall.
Oh my God. To be honest, like even like the way the argument went down with Simon, I'm like, you're also screaming at this party to get him upstairs. Like you're not helping the attention factor.
And stop yelling at Nick that you don't want to do chores and then offer to do a chore and not do like.
Yes.
Your tude is. I'm not here for it. Get out. No.
Go home.
Listen, if Natalie said, Bria's behavior isn't my vibe, I go, girl, me too.
Understand it.
Just don't talk shit about Shanice.
I was about to say, don't dare say that about our girl Shanice.
We are a podcast that loves Shanice.
Big Shanice girls.
Clip that and send it to Shanice. We're climatized in Shanice. Do you have a fun? I have a fun. I think you're going to pick my fun, but I'm going to pick
my fun. You go first.
I would love to give it to Nick. I think Nick's going to win this season once I count everything up. He did a great job. I hated Luxe on the Bluff last year, but I really like it this year.
Loving it. And I think Alex coordinated last year, so I think we've learned.
And I have not acclimatized to Alex yet.
Never.
But Nick has really grown on me, I think, from last season to this season. I think he's funny. I think the way he treats Tayshia is amazing. I think I felt bad when he ran his race, but he got the number 5 and it was so cute. And then he got to he got to throw his party. It was so good. 10 out of 10 for Nick.
I agree.
I'm obsessed. Who's your fun?
I'm going Nick too. I think he just deserves the double. Normally I try to not pick, but
Nick gets the double. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh, this was so fun. Great. Do all the things that are linked in our bio. Thanks for joining us. We have 2 more episodes to cover, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Bye.